So I came about Raven Age, um, pretty much when they did their first album. The way I found the band was I was looking into the children of Iron Maiden. So Bruce Dickinson has two sons in bands. One of them was in a kind of screamy slash actual singing style of band that eventually broke up. Um, and I didn't really like it when he was singing. He did have a really good voice. He's the son of Bruce, but the screaming was pretty damn stupid. The other singer pretty much is just full blown screaming, so he's definitely an idiot and hasn't learned anything coming from Bruce Dickinson, which is an utter shame, seeing that Bruce Dickinson is said to be one of the greatest singers, so the two children like screaming their heads off while having amazing voices but don't bother. So pretty stupid. But then I went and looked into the other children, just thinking if they are the kids, daughter be or son or whatever of Maiden, you would expect that they have learnt from Maiden that all the different albums have different sounds and different styles, the amazing solos, the great riffs, how much our songs can change and evolve, the great vocals, the great playing, and everything, and just learn all of this because they would have grown up with Maiden. So I looked into a few, pretty much everything was bad, and then I came across the Raven Age. Now, the Raven Age has the son of Steve Harris, who is the bass player and songwriter and founder of Iron Maiden. Now, this kind of spoke volumes to me because basically being the founder and songwriter, well, main songwriter of Maiden, he obviously has a lot of skill in writing good songs, great songs. So I thought, well, if this has come out onto his son, then the Raven Age should have really, really well structured songs and just be sounding so big and epic. Now, he doesn't play the bass in the Raven Age, he plays the guitar instead. I don't know if he's the lead guitarist, he may be the lead guitarist, there's two of them. So I listened to the first album, and I noticed the songs were quite long in length, like over 5 minutes. I don't know if anything actually goes under the 5 minute mark, which spoke volumes to me. Because it's like, wow, we're actually getting a proper length songs. So then I get into the songs, and the playing's great. They have good leads. There's some really interesting riffs and everything. So all that is great. Great drumming with great speed. Vocals come in, and I found the vocals to be very stale and very bland. His voice doesn't seem to have much variety to it. It's basically just like off the first track. That is basically it. You've heard how far his voice can actually stretch. His voice doesn't seem to really do much. It probably can go to other sort of places, but it's definitely not a voice which has a lot of variety to it. And it just sounds quite lazy the way he sings because it's so stale and so bland that it just sounds like there's no effort being put in. There is nothing unique, nothing cool, no great kind of sound or tone to it. It's just pretty terrible. And then the song's going on for like 6 minutes or even longer with a voice like that. The playing keeps it interesting and everything and the flow, but then as I go song by song, I start noticing there's hardly any solos in this either. So with the first album, you're going. The first song doesn't have a solo. The song after that doesn't have a solo. The song after that doesn't have a solo. Then you get a solo. So it's like the fourth track you get a solo. Then the next song, no solo. One after that, you get a solo. So you can kind of tell that really long songs where the singer is very bland, very stale, and not really doing anything diverse with his voice, and then no solos, what's really keeping you entertained? With songs being long, you need the pace to keep changing, you need tones to keep changing, everything needs to remain fun. And the Raven Age, to me, isn't fun. They have a great sound, and a great vibe, but nothing is fun. And that's the thing. And then there's no solos, which gets on my nerves. As I say, there is the odd one, but it is so rare. And the person in the comment section for the songs I've been listening to off of this second album that they're releasing, I made a comment incapable of solos, and then the guy replied, "You haven't seen them live." Now, to me, that's just like, well, that's even worse. Because if they're actually doing leads live, or more leads in the songs, while in the album there is none, then that's just a slap in the face to fans. It's just like, you can get the better version if you come and see us live. So it's just like, well, that's ridiculous. And then if they're actually doing proper, actually the band leaves, and then you get like an actual instrumental solo from one of them, then if they're good enough to do that, why are they not putting that into the band? It's like, I'm going to do my own solo, we're going to be soloing this all up, and when it comes to the album, we're not going to do any of that. To me, that screams, we are lazy, we are not that bothered, we'll just kind of write the song out and everything, but I just can't be bothered to play a solo. And that's lazy, and the song suffers. It will give it more variety, it will show the skill of the guitarist. It will break up that monotony that the first album had for me. Now, Surrogate is the first single that was released. There was no discussion about anything. It was just Surrogate. That's it, just a single. And I was like, okay then. And there was a new singer. And I was like, great, because the previous singer I did not enjoy in the slightest. I thought he was really bland and quite boring. So this new singer is way better. There is so much melody in his voice. It's musical. He can do the aggressive, hard hitting stuff, and the tempo of his voice and pitch of his voice can keep changing. It's got a lot of diversity. It has a lot of feel. He really seems to be trying to deliver, and he's trying hard. The singer sounds like a really skilled singer that is really actually working hard to show what he can do. He is doing his job. So I loved it. The songs are shorter. So Surrogate is kind of around 4 minutes and everything. So I get a great intro. The drums are blistering like crazy and everything. It's so fast paced. The chorus is really open and nice and musical. And I enjoy what is given. Now, if that was to basically be repeated all the way up to the 8 minute mark, that would kind of leave me with a sour note, but it isn't. I get that twice through, and I enjoy it. And they cut it off where it needs to be. So they've shortened the song to where it needs to be. The vocalist is trying really hard. Instrumentally, it's amazing. You got great leads. You got real great playing and great tone from the guitars. You got the drums that are really going at an incredible pace. But there's no solo again, which is a problem because you get the great riffs and everything's going pretty quick. And then if you look at the first album, like the song The Death March, the solo in that is actually pretty damn good. It's not basically, I'm not that good a guitarist. It's pretty good. It is a very good solo. It's got some speed and some great melody to it. It's a solo that I would expect from a guitarist who knows that it needs to be varied. You can't just do the one solo of just the one style. It has its speed, it has its melody, it has its feel and emotion. And then the song that comes after Death March, well, comes next in solo-wise, The Merciful One, is a lot more musical. So the guitarist is clearly well skilled. He knows to keep solos changing paces. And he has the skill to do speed as well as melody. So this guitarist has brains, yet he never hardly does it, apart from the very odd one. Which is really disappointing. Now you get the next single, Betrayal of the Mind. This is a lot more an aggressive song. Like the guitars are thumping really hard, the drums are beating down like crazy, and the vocalist is on more of an attack and kind of more in your face and everything, aggressive. The chorus, because of that, the chorus is a lot more open than the previous one to give it a bit of a breakup, just so it's diverse. If the chorus was just still the fast pace and everything, it would just all kind of blend together and be incohesive. So that helps. But again, no solo. And now we've got a third one where they've now basically showed the album cover, which is here, as well as the album name Conspiracy, as well as the track list. We're going to get 12 tracks, I think. And this next single is called Fleur de Lis. Now, this is the most musical kind of one. It's not melodic or anything. It's just the most kind of upbeat, more kind of the laid back style. So we've got the kind of fast and musical, then we've got the definite aggression, then we've got just the kind of plain musical kind of one. So we've got some diversion from song to song, and in the songs there is a lot of changes. We've got great riffs every single time and amazing playing, but yet again there is no solo. You do amazing riffs. The two tracks on the first album, because I was speeding my way through, just constantly tapping the button to fast forward and everything, so I didn't want to go through the whole album doing that because that would be ridiculous. But the two tracks which I did find, which what were they again? The Death March. That solo was pretty damn great, and the Merciful One, the solo there was pretty damn great. It was varied, it showed skill, it showed a great musical mind of how to approach this solo. But he never does any of it, and it screams lazy to me. And then the YouTuber who says, well, you haven't seen them live then. Just screams, are you an idiot? So it's just like, yeah, I know there's no solos on the first album, but live, they do great solos, therefore great band. No, it just screams like they're taking the piss, seriously, to me. If they can do great leads, do an actual proper upfront lead where the band leaves and they do a minute or two just doing an incredible lead, then that shows a great guitarist who is obviously confident and competent to actually do a solo. If they're putting solos into the songs that didn't have them, then why didn't they do that previously? It just means that the album version is therefore worse. It's inferior. And it's like, well, maybe they've learnt their lesson. Then why are they not doing it in this blooming album? If you have such a great guitarist then, and he has a great mind, and you got great riffs, but he's not giving a solo, isn't that really disappointing because you're going to want to see more? It harms the song. The song's not going to have a lot of diversity because of the solo. It's not going to show great solo skills. It's basically just songs with good riffs, good choruses, and good vocals, but follows a very kind of simple pattern and doesn't have much else to it. So everything there is basically great. But because they don't do a solo, it just screams absolutely lazy in a band that just doesn't seem to actually understand you need a solo. And this band should definitely know this, which just means they're just lazy. And it is extremely disappointing. Now, I'm still going to listen to the album because these three tracks definitely sound incredible. And heck, maybe it's just these three tracks. Maybe the rest of the tracks, there's tons of solos. But if not, I'm going to be seriously disappointed because this band is definitely capable of going far. They are really good. But not doing solos is gonna seriously kill this band and dampen them. And it's an absolute shame. if you like great vocals and amazing, powerful riffs and everything, and great breakdowns and big open choruses and everything, seriously, check them out. They are definitely incredible. But if you really want all of that and then amazing solos and everything and great show of talent, they do not go that far. They kind of cut it off there. And it is seriously a shame. It is really disappointing. So I'm just hoping that there is more to the album than what they are showing in these 3 singles. If I were to rate the singles, then I would probably give them a 7. They're good. But without them solos, then they're basically just basic songs that are really, really, really well put together. And that's pretty much it. So I'll be back later because, as I said in my previous video, Miraf is going to be releasing something today. So if I can get a hold of that, and if it is a song, then I will be back later tonight or tomorrow to basically show my opinions on that. But if not, then it'll be just when something else drops, which who knows when that will be. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.